Talking about weird people, next up we got Denmark.
Yo!
The little splooge splatter of Scandinavia, the most mocked people in the Nordic region.
And yes, for the person who has been rather good with the nomenclature there, for those who do not know, my actual legal name is Jacques. So it's French. So now you know. Growing up, just way too many of my friends, when I moved to Denmark, just could not pronounce it for some reason. Kids were just dumb. So I just told them to use the English variant instead. So, Jack. So it's kind of stuck, and that's what everybody call me. Thumbnail is goated. Thanks. I am training my skills in drawing. Perhaps further live streams will see variations of new thumbnails. Also why I changed the art for the channel. It's actually with an S at the end, and I don't know why. Do not ask. Fuck the French for doing that. And if you're French here, you know it's stupid. We don't pronounce S's in French for the most part. Why do we write names the way that we do? It's stupid. Are there any, should we say, Nordic people in the chat here? Do we have any Scandinavians? Hit the W if you're Scandinavian. Well, I did ask the question there for the Scandinavian amongst you because I have something that I've been holding on to a little bit here to watch, and perhaps this is something that we more or less can all enjoy. This is from a channel called Geopold, and this guy is pretty funny in my opinion. He kind of like no holds bars with certain things, criticizing countries especially, and this time around he has something on Scandinavia.
Scandinavia, the icy region where they export more vodka than anywhere else in the world, drink more milk than anywhere else, where
That's
rotten,
true.
rancid fish is considered a delicacy, where feeling...
Hold on, mister. Well, zoomer editing is more like, if you are Gen Z, you usually use a hell of a lot of memes all the time.
Well. How the turntables...
That's what some do like to classify as zoomer editing. But the thing with rancid fish being a delicacy, I don't ever recall anybody actually calling the fish that they're eating here surströmming, or surströmming, some say, which is a fermented fish that is kind of like haggish in a way, but in can. It's hella disgusting. I've never heard anybody calling it a delicacy. Actually, I will splice some footage here to when I edit this, where friends of mine went to Sweden and bought some cans. I don't know why they decided to go plural with it. They were freaking insane, but they brought it back. And our friend called Jonas opened the one can, and the reflex that all of us in like simultaneously had was to gag. He threw up and almost freaking died. It's so rancid. It's disgusting. But it's supposed to taste better than it smells. But I don't believe that. If my nose can't handle a food smell, then I don't think that my stomach ever will.
Cold isn't a thing, where 7-foot Vikings used to patrol the land. Today I'm going to be doing a tier list, not only of the 3 Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Norway and Denmark. I'm officially extending this video into a Nordic tier list. That means we're including Finland and Iceland in the ranking as well. But
okay, so we know what Finland is all about. It's just my summer car. It's basically just my summer car. I can pretty much tell you what he's gonna make fun of Denmark for. Things being extremely expensive. He's gonna make fun of our pronunciation of English words. Because out of all the Scandinavian countries, I don't know what's wrong with us. We are not that good at speaking English well. But we can also say the reverse with other people, that they can't speak Danish, so ha ha ha.
First off, we got Sweden. Now, I know I sound like your typical British guy, but I promise I am like the most Swedish dude on this godforsaken island. I religiously practice fika. I drink milk literally by the gallon. I listen to Blade every day. I will constantly be annoyed about the weather, apart from that one day of the year when it's lagom.
And yes, alcoholism. We drink like crazy. Oof. Our youth has a problem. It gets talked about all the time, and we keep on just saying, no, it's not happening. We are totally fine. Yeah, my English is good, but I'm not representative of everybody. I mean, generally speaking, I think that my generation, millennials, are rather good at it. Where, let's say, the baby boomers, you do not want to hear them talk. We had a prime minister who is now responsible for foreign affairs, yes, who absolutely botched every single word that he could say during the climate summit. And we were all so freaking embarrassed when he stood on stage. It became like a national thing that we all remember. Yeah, it's so bad.
My family celebrates...
If you're bilingual, you're already better than most people. Thanks.
Christmas on the 24th of December. They also own a Dala Hest.
Small wooden horse so you can put in your window and stuff like that.
My name is fucking Geopold. I am genuinely so Swedish that I am a direct descendant of Alfred Nobel, the dude who invented dynamite and invented the Nobel Prize. So if it seems like I'm a bit biased with this first tier list ranking, I am. We've got the highest population in Scandinavia. We've got the biggest city in Scandinavia. We've got all the good Scandinavian music. We've got the best food in Scandinavia. We're the geographical heart of Scandinavia. We've got the most islands in the world. We literally invented Minecraft, IKEA, Bluetooth, Spotify, in Volvo. And
okay, now let's be fair. Sure, you did invent Bluetooth, but Bluetooth would have never been a thing. Or at least it would have been called something very dumb if it wasn't for Denmark's existence, okay? It was named after one of our oldest Jarl, Harry Bloten, or Harry Bluetooth. So, yeah.
Am I smelling a bit of patriotism in the air?
I'm gonna come with some goodies there for Denmark when we get to that point. But yeah, okay. Gotta admit it, Sweden has a lot of good things going for them.
And then, politically, look, I know we might have not been able to form a functional government for a few years, but hey, you seen all the rare earth minerals they found up in Kiruna? I mean, it will definitely be interesting to see if a massive injection of money into the economy will sort out Sweden's political train wreck, or just compress that train wreck into a raging ball of hellfire in the form of endless pointless debates, coalitions, and stupidly extremist brainwashing. Talking about stupid extremists, next up we got Norway. They're like the sugar daddies of Scandinavia. We all think they're kind of annoying, but they also have every natural resource you could ever need on lock. And whilst they do keep this wealth to themselves a little bit, this country is very, very, very important, not just for Scandinavia, but for all of Europe. I mean, after Brexit, the UK would literally have collapsed if we didn't leech off all of Norway's natural resources.
Come to Birmingham! Come!
Oh, Jesus Christ. The average person from Birmingham. I mean, it's totally fair. Norway has a lot of resources. And I talked about this in the stream before. I think it was perhaps during like a dog video that we watched, where Denmark did sell some oil reserves under the assumption that those will dry up.
Oh my God, bro.
And that was the worst decision that one could have ever made. Like, who the F thought that was a smart thing? Oh, yeah, you know, we think that the oil is done for.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. To fucking Birmingham.
And regarding nature, I can't lie, Norway is absolutely stunning. Plus, they actually have this thing called warm air. Due to the Gulf Stream, Norwegians have much less painful winters than the rest of us Scandinavians. Must be nice, bro. You do get two other types of Norwegians though, aside from the normal ballers. These people are usually driven a bit insane by the country's desolate vastness, and this insanity can go one of two ways. Case study number one, the glad skit. That's a Swedish term that essentially refers to someone that's very happy, carefree, and jolly, but also a bit simple in the head. Let's just say they're not thinking too deeply about anything. Perfect example is apito, just walking around half naked, drinking vodka, swimming around in icy water, driving shit.
This guy is a mad lad. Early internet, Apito was the man. You need an entertainment, you tune in on his channel. I'm glad for him though, he made it big.
Boxes, not having one capitalist motivation in his body, and being completely content with a life defined by Scandinavian goofiness. And then you have the second type of deranged Norwegian, the evil
metalheads.
Satanist. These guys are absolutely the opposite of glad skits. They're actually driven to insanity from thinking too deeply about shit. And these guys turn fucking ballistic, okay? I'm talking death metal, I'm talking burning down multiple churches, I'm talking convicted murderers, the most radical beliefs you could ever imagine. You really want to avoid this type of Norwegian. And
The one case that I can make about these guys, they make good music. Don't care about the lyrics though, but the soundtracks, the beat is killer.
everyone from Norway knows of a local dodgy guy lurking around their town who's a bit questionable in this way, and you just gotta steer clear. Do not interact with these guys. They are almost definitely armed and dangerous. Talking about weird people, next up we got Denmark.
Yo!
The little splooge splatter of Scandinavia, the most mocked people in the Nordic region. Now there are some main reasons why Denmark gets on so much by all of the other Nordic countries. First off, they sound kind of annoying, okay? Scandinavia is Norway, Sweden and Denmark, right? We're all meant to speak very similar languages, and we would if Danes didn't just choose to say words in the most stupid, annoying way possible.
Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Wait, worse than Sweden? Are you kidding me? No, I don't agree with this at all. I don't agree with this at all. And now he's including the Nordic country. Okay, fine. His argument here is with regards to Scandinavia. But you're going to compare Danish with Finnish? Hell no! No! Are you serious, man? We've been struck. We will never recover from this.
Just to be like edgy and cool and different. And you might be thinking, well, what about Finns? Why don't you guys make fun of them for having a completely different language?
Yeah.
Their language sounds cool as fuck. The term I love you in Scandinavian languages is always along the lines of jag älskar dig. In Finnish, it's minä rakastan sinua. That shit is scary, bruh. Also, they did walk all the way from Siberia, so it's a lot more valid. Danes like to think that they're very clever and intellectual, and therefore they think they speak English the best out of all of the Nordics.
No, we don't.
When in reality, their accents sound like Germans with peanut butter stuck to the roof of their mouths.
I mean, the Dutch team is surely favorites in our group, and they're one of the best teams in the tournament, whatever.
Get ready for my best Danish.
Oh boy. My name is Sammy. I wrote a fan mail to you a while ago, so no need to tell.
I mean, there's a reason why there's like 1 million English-speaking Swedish singers, and there's literally not one English-speaking...
Okay, now that's straight up a lie. That's a straight up lie. That's cap. That's hard cap.
Fucking Aqua!
Danish singer I could name off the top of my head. But wait, before I reveal my true thoughts about Denmark, I've got the perfect solution for any angry Danes or other people watching right now. You can let all your anger out in War Thunder, a fast action-packed game which offers intense player versus player battles. You can experience a massive range of vehicles in War Thunder.
Yo. Okay, great inclusion of the ad there. Do any of the Swedes want to re-engage in one of our brotherly battles? How do you feel about losing Stockholm again? Jesus Christ.
which span over 100 years in development. We're talking more than 2,000 tanks, planes, helicopters, ships, whatever vehicle you feel like commanding today via your PC, Xbox or PlayStation, War Thunder's got you sorted.
Yeah, he got us there.
I personally love how crisp, detailed and realistic all the graphics are. From the explosions to the vehicle specs, I mean it's literally in 4K, and you can hop on there for free right now by hitting the link in the description. Also, you're going to be gifted a large bonus pack containing premium vehicles, a premium account, a 3D decorator for your vehicles and much more. It's only available for a limited time though, so hit my link now. One other factor that makes the rest of the Nordics frown down upon Denmark a bit is that all these countries have a deep respect for nature. 97% of Sweden is uninhabited, even more with Norway and Finland. And the sprawling, endless forests, mountains, land, biodiversity, animals is all very important to a lot of...
Okay, come on. Do you just keep on taking a dump on Denmark? Denmark has like next to nothing. We keep on trying to implement more forest area everywhere, like straight up in the middle of the street in our capital. Roads are being changed all the time. Actually, in smart ways, we've managed to make sure that certain of our cities don't get flooded by establishing like roundabouts that are just filled with trees and stuff, so that they act like a natural sponge. It's pretty smart. But yeah, the land is hella flat here. Like the highest point that we have is like, I'm gonna say 300 meters. And that's actually me being very generous here. Yeah, the land is flat. We don't have much to look at.
Of Nordic people. However, Denmark is a complete exception. Because it's so small, more densely populated, these values kind of aren't cherished in the same way. And I know this obviously doesn't represent all of Denmark's citizens' actions, but it doesn't stop that a lot of...
Wait. What did he say? Danes on their way to exterminate an entire species because they might catch a cold. Fuck me. Is he referring to the minks? Yeah, that's our prime minister. During the corona pandemic. During the corona pandemic, she ordered that most of our minks, if not all of them, to be eradicated. Yeah, she went full god empress and was like, exterminatus or else.
This obviously doesn't represent all of Denmark's citizens' actions, but it doesn't stop that a lot of
Yes, it was that.
Scandinavians are a bit disgusted and offended when they see stuff like this on the news. Also, Denmark...
And he wasn't joking. Mutant COVID zombies minks rise from the grave. It didn't happen.
Disgusted and offended when they see stuff like this on the news. Also, Denmark low-key have a kind of weird empire thing still going on, but I'm not gonna...
Yeah, let's not talk about that. That's one of the dark side of Denmark that we don't touch on. The way that we treated Greenland, historically, is not kind at all. No, I'm not gonna talk about it. That's gonna make a lot of people angry.
Gonna get too political with all that. But all of that being said, I'm not gonna lie, they did invent Lego. So they made my childhood pretty much. I would not be the same man I am today if I didn't have Lego as a kid, alright? And also a lot of Danish cities do look pretty cool. And their islands are cool. And I really would love to go to Copenhagen. And Danish pastries are literally god tier level scran. And a crispy ice cold Carlsberg might be one of the best things known to man. You could be handed on a warm summer's day. And okay, I really don't have any bias against Denmark. It's just some friendly banter, some funny jokes.
Gentlemen, listen to me. Here's the argument to rule them all. Without Denmark, there is no Scarlett Johansson. That pretty damn good argument is compelling.
Good thing Danish people don't understand comedy in the slightest. Right, those are all the
Really, to the treatment of Greenlanders? Well, how do we say this? Think about the Native Americans. Think about what we are now calling the Inuits. Pretty similar. And they're like, if you go to the University of Copenhagen, they are straight up, what's the word that I'm looking for there? Anthropologists who have written so many papers and articles documenting all those things. And yeah, it's worth a read just so that we kind of know why it takes so long for Greenland to become, at least why they ask for a lot of independence and they still don't have it yet.
Scandinavian countries done, I'm gonna move on to the Nordic countries now. Starting with Iceland, probably the most insane and unique looking Nordic country. Is absolutely stunning. That does come with some downsides though. Namely, the entire country is like one big tourist trap. Their population is only 372,000,
There are more tourists
but
than
they
the
get
Icelanders.
1.7 million tourists every year. Meaning, you can almost guarantee at all times there are more tourists than Icelandic people in Iceland.
Yeah, they all go to those volcanoes or the beaches to have that Death Stranding experience. Like, I get the volcanic spa or whatever are pretty nice, but it's not nice when you are surrounded by 50 other individuals in one tiny little pool. It gets disgusting.
And looking at these stats right now, I do feel pretty bad for you guys. Honestly though, you can probably avoid the big crowds by just not going to the fucking Blue Lagoon. I don't know if any of the tourists know this, but it's literally power plant wastewater. Anyway, the other things I know about Iceland is that the prices are absolutely fucking ridiculous. They casually eat the most abysmal culinary monstrosities I've ever laid my eyes upon, taking into account I live in Britain. Everything smells like eggy farts because of all the sulfur in the air from the volcanoes, which from my understanding, like literally any day now, are about to cataclysmically explode and instantly pulverize any existence of Icelandic people ever existing. I mean, I really genuinely hope that the one dude from Iceland watching this video is okay and is gonna live to see the year 2020.
Yo, Iceland is living on danger mode. Not gonna lie. I feel bad for them every single time. Like, major news about Iceland is just, well, this new volcano erupted recently. Like, okay, can you stop doing that?
24. Next up, Finland. Finnish people are unhinged as fuck. They're always drunk doing some weird shit with farming equipment. They're probably the most extroverted Nordic people, commonly thought of as the redneck neighbors. Somehow though, it's still the most expensive country I've ever visited. You know, if you really want to get a grasp on Finnish culture, I'd recommend the game My Summer Car. I think it perfectly summarizes the Finnish day-to-day routine. Wake up, go fix your box car, drive to the shop in this car, buy lots of vodka, drink all the vodka, get your cousin to drive you back home, sleep, repeat. Alternatively, if you want to see a documentary about me and my arch nemesis Wow Mao going to Finland on holiday, yeah, we went to Finland on holiday, then watch this video made by the evil communist himself. Alright, that's all the Nordic countries done. Now we got some honorable mentions. These are all of the Nordic territories. They all have some level of autonomy, but usually less than 50,000 inhabitants. First off, the Åland Islands. Technically part of Finland, but they're self-governing, demilitarized, and they speak Swedish. I know there's a bunch of Swedish people that go on holiday there. It's meant to have pretty stunning nature. One important thing to mention is that these lucky motherfuckers pay like no tax. Next, we got Norway's territories. For example, Jan Mayen. Why the fuck do they need this? Oh, I see. Also, Svalbard, home to...
Oh, I was supposed to visit this place once. It has the best ghost town. We should get... There should be any... It's like some shooter or at least a horror game set there. It's beautiful.
2,500 people that by law need to carry rifles with them when they go outside due to there being more polar bears than humans there. They do have a very awesome Soviet coal mining ghost town though, which I would really love to visit. And also apparently they have a completely open visa policy. Literally anyone from anywhere could move to Svalbard apparently, and you might think that attracts a lot of people with weak passports, but if you check which countries have the weak ass passports, I don't think they're exactly built for minus 20 degrees Celsius, you know? Alright, next up we got Denmark's territories, starting with the Faroe Islands.
Yay! The place for the hobbits. We literally have a hobbit landscape.
which from my understanding is just based Iceland. Hardly any tourists in comparison, but it has an equally, if not even more amazing natural
Look at
landscape. They actually have their own language, and apart from having grassy roofs, the Faroese mainly seem to be very proud of their tunnel network. Weird flex, but hey, whatever makes you guys happy, man. And then finally, we got Greenland, the place that definitely isn't green and was only named Greenland because some Vikings were lonely. My boy, I'm telling you, this is the greenest place I've ever been. Come join me. We're gonna grow hella crops, man. It's gonna be... Realistically though, Greenland is not Nordic. They have a completely separate culture. They're in a completely different continent. And maybe I'll get some patriotic Danes unsubscribing. But hey, that might actually be a good thing. It's a joke, guys. I swear it's a joke. I know you can't understand, but it's a joke, I swear. And I am just gonna give a quick mention to Estonia. Because when I went to Tallinn, it was like 1,000,000 times more Nordic than Helsinki. I can't lie. They speak a Nordic language. They eat Nordic food. They look Nordic as hell. It will hopefully soon share a metro area with Finland. I think if you drop someone in Helsinki and Tallinn and ask them to guess which one was under the Soviet Union and which one was Nordic, I think they'd get them mixed up. Just saying. So there we have it, guys. The completed tier list. Feel free to argue about it as much as you want in the comments. And thank you to War Thunder for supporting my channel. If you want to play the most comprehensive...
God damn it, we're still C tier. No way. I think that this is rigged. Norway played its way to first place. Like literally, Svalbard is beautiful. And of course, as he mentioned, there are bears there. So if you want to have a little bit of a survival aspect put onto it, you're totally game.